Good morning, dear students. Today we are going to see the third poetry, all the words staged by William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare, born in 1564 and died in 1616. In his 50 years of life, he wrote many things. He wrote drama, he wrote poetry, he wrote even fiction. So when we talk about drama, he wrote four different types of dramas: comedy, tragedy, tragicomedy, and drama which is based on history, historical dramas. And more particularly, if we talk about tragedies, uh, particularly we may talk about we can particularize Othello, Hamlet, Macbeth, so many things. Much ado about nothing, as you like it. In fact, this poem we can say is a kind of an extract from As You Like It. So he was a prolific writer during the Elizabethan and Jacobean ages of British theatre. Even today, a Globe Theatre is one of the famous theatre made by Shakespeare, Globe Theatre. Still, it is there in London. Shakespeare's plays are perhaps his most enduring legacy, but they are not the only thing he wrote. Shakespeare's poems remain popular to this day. Shakespeare's rich and diverse works have uh, spawned countless adaptations across multiple genres and cultures, and his writings have been compiled in various iterations of the complete works of William Shakespeare, which include all his plays, sonnets, and other poems. William Shakespeare continues to be one of the most important literary figures of the English language. Boys, without Shakespeare, you cannot finish your literature reading. Without Shakespeare, English literature is impossible. You can say uh, Shakespeare is the father of English literature. Though he lived a short life of 50 years, but he did miracles. He left behind a lot of work on which still research is going on. Maybe thousands of research have been already done, and still there is a long way to go to find the hidden meaning of his work. Whatever he wrote in his lifetime that reflects the life of a person. In other way around, we can say literature means it's a life. Life, literature is all about life. The person who reads the literature in different forms can understand the life of a person in much better way. So whatever he has seen in his life, Whatever the experience he had in his short 50 years of life, he put all that experience in different forms of literature. And one form is the poetry here. And the title of the poem is All the World's a Stage by William Shakespeare. Actually, he divides the life, he bifurcates the life into 7 stages. And just to warm up, we can see the picture here. And this is the life of a cycle of a butterfly. And see the eggs of the butterfly on the leaf, and there's that egg becomes caterpillar. Okay, that egg breaks, and it's a larva stage, and then it becomes pupa stage, that is chrysalis, and finally it becomes adult, that is the fourth stage. So again the adult gives an egg, so it's a kind of life circle. The phrase "all the world's a stage" is the beginning of a monologue from William Shakespeare's As You Like It, spoken by Jacques in Act 2, scene 7, which is in line 138 of As You Like It. He compares the world to a stage. He compares the world to the stage of the drama. Okay? Stage where the drama is acted. He compares the world to the stage and life of a person, life to a play. Isn't the play has to be acted on the stage? The life is acted on the stage. So the world is compared with the stage and the life is compared with the play. All right. The 7 stage of man's life to a play and catalogs the 7 stages of a man's life. This is one of Shakespeare's most frequently quoted passages. Let's see what is uh, the poem. First, listen to the reading of the complete poem, then read silently and get to know what Shakespeare says about the different stages in the life of man. You may refer to the glossary given at the end of the monologue to help you. See, it is an instruction given by an author to how to read out this poem. Can you see the uh, a picture given on the right side of the poem? There are 7 heads. The first is a child. Okay. The second is a boy. Then next adolescent. Then adult. Likewise, it goes. I just read out the poem first. You listen to me. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exists and their entrances. And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages. At first, the infant mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, then the weaning schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face creeping like a flame, unwilling to go to school. And then the lover, shining like furnace, with awful ballad made to his mistress eyebrow. Then a soldier full of strange oaths and bearded like the bat, jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation even in the cannon's mouth. And then the justice in fair round belly with good capelin, with eyes severe and beard a formal cut, full of wise saws and modern instances. And so he plays his part. The sixth age shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. His youthful horse, well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank, and his big manly voice, turning again towards childish treble pipes and whistle in his sound, last scene of all, the that ends this strange, eventful history in second childishness and mere oblivion, sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything. Let's see the glossary here. Time, that is lifetime. Parts have here characters. Ages, here periods of life. Mewling means a small weak noise that a cat makes. Puking, vomiting. Whining, expressing unhappiness. Creeping, walking slowly. Satchel, a shoulder bag. Furnace, place where fire is made. Awful, unhappy. Oath, promises. Pad, a large cat such as leopard. Justice, here a judge, someone very respected. Sas, sayings. Poach, a small bag for carrying money. Hose, tight thin trousers that men wore in Shakespeare's time. A world too wide, much too big. Pipes, a high sound. Second, being like a child again. Second, childishness. Sans means without. I just want to read out the lines again for the better understanding of the poem. Line contextual meaning of a few difficult phrases. Line 13. Jealous in honor. Jealous in honor. The young man takes great care of his honor, his reputation as a good man. Line 14. Seeking the bubble reputation. A bubble is empty, so by seeking the bubble reputation, Shakespeare means a short lived glory. Even in the cannon's mouth, a cannon large gun, and its mouth was at the front, so the man seeks his reputation even if it is means standing in front of guns. Capin, capinlin, to line means to fill something at the edges here. The man was fat from eating good chicken. Lean and slippered pantaloon. This phrase describes a thin old man. Shrunk shank. To shrink means to grow smaller, and shank a piece of. Meat cut from leg of an animal, so man's leg have grown narrower with age. Treble. A treble is the higher part of a piece of music. So Shakespeare is referring to a boy's high pitched voice. Treble. Oblivion. If someone is oblivious, he or she does not know what is happening around him, and he she lives in oblivion, is completely forgotten by other people. So let's go back to the poetical phrase and understand the poem line by line and word by word. It's really interesting to read the poem of this kind, particularly written by the poets like Shakespeare. All the words a stage, and all the men and women merely players. And that's the reason he has compared the world with the stage and life with the play. So, according to Shakespeare, world is like a stage. People go to stage, they do play on the stage, and then they leave. And that's how people come to this world, and they live here. They play a lot of they play here, and then they live one day. So life, the stage and the life is not permanent. It is it is mortal. It is mortal. They have their exist and their entrance, which means they born and then they die. They come and then they go. And one man in his time plays many parts. One in his lifetime plays many part. He does a lot. His acts being seven ages. So here the poet, the Shakespeare, divides the activities of a person into seven stages. Let's see what he does in the first stage. At first, the infant means baby, newly born baby, infant, mewling and puking. So creating a kind of noise, a cat noise, kind of noise. A baby, the infant cries and puking in the nurse arms. You might have seen a infants mewling and puking. Puking is a very common activity of an infant. Then the whining schoolboy. So, secondly, after the infant stage, now he talks about very next stage, the stage when a child starts going to school. So, when he goes to school, he actually wins. And then with his satchel, with his bag, the hanging bag in his shoulder, and shining morning face, because most of the child, okay, when you turn back what you did in your primary school time, you can easily guess that what he has said here in this poem is correct. So, whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face, creeping like snail, he goes very slowly. Even if the parents forces a child to go to school, he never go to school happily or in a running speed. He crawls, he creeps like a snail. Okay, so not with happiness. It's a kind of so unhappily he moves forward. He's unwillingly moves forward. He's not ready to go to school, but he's forced to go to school, and that's the reason his face is shining. Shining in the sense it's not glittering, which means no, his facial expression itself shows that he's not happy of going to school, unwilling to go to school. And then the next stage is the lover, shining like furnace. Furnace means it's a burning place. And then the lover, shining like a furnace with the awful, unhappy ballad made to his mistress eyebrow. Mistress means a partner's eyebrow. He actually speaks like a ballad on the eyebrows of his partner. Then the next stage is what this stage, adolescent stage. We can say in this adolescent stage, most of the time whether it is a boy or a girl get infatuated towards the opposite sex, and this is the stage where this speaks ballads, not the actual conversation. So it's a kind of an infatuation towards an opposite sex, so which makes a boy or a girl to speak ballet uh, towards their opposite sex. And then a soldier, very next stage is actually the young age, perhaps after crossing 20 years, maybe at this stage, an adolescent uh, aged boy or a girl just crossing the age of 20 and then capable enough to take up the job of a soldier and full of strange oaths, strange promises, and beard like the pad, and jealous in honor, sudden and quick in quarrel, seeking the bubble reputation, and even in the cannon's mouth. So, this particular age, perhaps the age group of 20 to 25, when the blood is always very hot, uh, people of that age, they get angry for everything. They get angry instantly if something goes against to their wish, if they don't like something, if they don't wish something, if something goes not according to their wish, they may get angry immediately. So people say that you get your attitude in your nose, and that's how this age group people react. So jealous in honor, okay, they have a kind of you know uh, blind honor, okay, fake, a kind of fake honor for themselves. So at this stage, even if they are offered, if they are asked to carry even a small bag in hand, and ask them to walk on the street, they probably never ever accept it, and they may be not ready to carry that bag and walk on the street, because for them it is a matter of prestige. It is something, um, it is a kind of substandard work for them. It happens almost in every home. People of that age, they may not be ready to carry the carriage of food in hand, and walk on the street despite having forced by the parents. So seeking the bubble reputation, bubble means it's a kind of an hollow reputation, it's a kind of fake reputation, even in the cannon's mouth, even if they are made to stand in front of the cannon, a tank, maybe there is a life threat to stand in front of it. Even in that place, they always very particular about their fake reputation than anything else. And then the justice. When this particular part, um, see, after crossing the 25, okay, after crossing approximately, I'm giving the age limit. When a person actually crossing the age 25, mentally he becomes shrewd, he becomes sane, and he can have a knowledge to judge what is right and what is wrong. Probably this is the time when a human can take a right decision in fair round belly with good capelin. And this is the age where people take delicious food, and they enjoy eating a lot. All right. And with eyes severe and beard of formal cut. And this is the stage where they become occupational. They may become professional, and they may wear a formal dress, and they may wear a formal, they may have a formal cut of hair, and full of wise sauce, full of wise and knowledgeable sayings. People of that age, they speak, you know, as if they are highly knowledgeable. And modern instances, they always speak about the knowledge and modern things, and so he plays his part. So in that age, he plays very important role towards the society. The sixth stage shifts into the lean and slipped pantaloon. And instead of saying, After 25 to 40, for the span of 15 years, even we can say for the rest of 25 years, from 25 to 50, you can say for 25 long years, between the age of 25 to 50, for about 25 years, the man can be stable both physically and mentally. Okay, once he crosses 50, that is the stage where he loses saturation. Actually, he faces the saturation both in terms of physical condition as well as the mental condition. What is the reason that the government has fixed one particular age for the retirement of a person? Government knows medically the mental condition or the medical condition of a person, that after 50 there will be a saturation of a person. If he continues to work even after 58 or 60, he cannot be stable and he will not be able to concentrate, or he will not be able to discharge his duty, uh, which is supposed to be done. So that's the reason government also has fixed a particular age for the retirement of a person. So when a person crosses 50 years, it is natural that he loses physical strength, at the same time mental strength as well. The sixth stage shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon. Pantaloon is a kind of pant, is a very slippery, very loose pant, which was used in the Shakespearean time. In the 16th and 17th century, people used to wear the loose pants. Even way back to 90s, we had a styling pants. We called it like baggy pants. Just like that, pantaloon also was so slippery and completely air circulated, air free, and with spectacles on nose and pouch on side. As I already told you, once a person crosses 50, he cannot see the things, you know, correctly, exactly. So he uses spectacles, eyeglasses, and then he keeps a kind of pouch on side. You might have seen the people even keeping the pouch of this spectacles, that in the uh, front packet, the front packet of the shirts, with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, and his youthful hose, hose. This is also a kind of loose pant, well shaped, a world too wide. It's a, I mean, it's a completely wide kind of, very big pant, loosey pant, for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice. So when a person actually grow old, he loses the flesh, the body flesh. He loses the flesh in his thighs. He loses the flesh in his arms. So by and large, he loses the flesh. So after every age, when a person crosses 40, he loses certain pounds of flesh from the body. At the same time, when a person crosses 50, again it comes down to certain level. Just like that, when a person grows old, he may get a kind of wrinkles in his throat, sometimes in the face, and sometimes even in the hands. When a person started getting the wrinkles in his um, skin, which means he loses his flesh as well. So turning again, so for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice. So normally, age-old people speaks loudly at home. People say that strength of the hand actually comes in their mouth. When a person actually grow old, all the strength of the body comes and comes into their tongue. They speak harsh word. They speak loudly. Sometimes their their words, their harsh words, may break the hearts of the young people like you. All right. So being a young, We have to understand that that is the stage where people may not understand that what they speak, and what is the consequence of the word they are articulating. So without knowing, without realizing the outcome, the consequence of their statement, they simply do a loose talk. So by wearing a loose pant, and by speaking in by speaking in high voice, turning again towards childish treble and pipes. All right. And vissless in his sound. So when they speak, it may penetrate into the ears of youngsters. Okay, it may penetrate because it's loud. It's very loud. They always speak in a very, you know, in high frequency. And last scene of all, and after that, perhaps after 60. See, I'm all these changes comes after 50, from 50 to 60, and after 60, the remaining three lines that is directly connected to the age limit, directly connect to the people of more than 60, that ends this strange eventful history. It is a kind of history. The whatever the stages they left behind up to the age of 60, it's a kind of an history for them. And in second childishness, so when a person grows old, then he becomes a second child. He gets a second childishness and mere oblivion, and that is the stage where he loses teeth, and then he loses eyesight, and then he loses the taste of the food. Then finally, he loses everything. When he loses everything, he kicks the bucket, and then he goes and joins the creator who has created him or her. So the last line is the end of the story. The last three line is the last stage of a person where he loses everything. He gets the second childishness. They become stubborn. They become adamant. All right. Even if something is wrong, they may stick on to it. They never ever take a backseat from their opinion, or they may never be ready. They never be ready to. They may not be ready to accept that what they have said is wrong, or what they have did is wrong. So this is the stage where they get a kind of superior complex, and they try to boss over the other people who are underaged. So being a young, it is you have to treat them in a right manner by understanding the fact that it is a kind of natural phenomena, that even at this age they have to be respected, and they have to be valued, because they are the people who give a birth to them. So it is one of the most important poem which leaves an information um, to every young child like you, an adolescent child like you, that you may happen to see your parents growing, and with a different type of attitude. So I just quote the verse of scripture: "وَوَصَّيْنَا الْإِنسَانَ بِوَالِدَيْهِ حَمَلَتْهُ أُمُّهُ عَلَى وَهْنٍ وَفِصَالُهُ فِي عَامَيْنِ أَنِ اشْكُرْ لِي وَلِوَالِدَيَّ." You should not even say oof to your parents, as per the guideline given by the Creator God. So being a child, you all have to take care of your parents till their last breath. That is your obligation and duty as well, and that will definitely pave a way for your salvation on the day of judgment. So from the examination point of view, this particular poem is highly important, and it's my suggestion for all of you to read between the lines and understand each and every stage of the life of a person, because this is you also going to face this stage if you live on this earth. And if you understand the last stage much better, probably you will be stable, and you will be in a right track to how to treat the elderly people at home. So you take it as an important for the examination, at the same time for your life lesson as well. I hope that you might have understood this poem out of my lecture, and I hope that you will write an essay on it and post the same in the WhatsApp. See, still I am not satisfied. I say openly and candidly that I am completely heartbroken after seeing the performance of my students. Out of 220 approximately, so far I have received the response of just 70, which is approximately one fourth of the total strength of the 12th standard. So my question is, what are what about the rest of three-fourth of the strength? That is approximately 150 of the 140 to 150 students of 12th standard. Are they sleeping? Are they serious? Aren't they serious about their career, or they have lost their interest in the studies? Or do they have any plan to start preparing for the exam, or start giving concentration only after the opening of the school, or they are ready to be active right now in this online classes itself? Such kind of questions comes to my mind all the time. I suggest you, being a teacher, I advise you to make use of this online platform and try to learn something instead of nothing. So if you have any doubt in this poem, you just feel free to contact me on the phone, or put the question directly in the WhatsApp group for the clarification. Thank you very much. Flawless.